everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today I actually decided to draw and paint a shiny POIPOLE. And now POIPOLE is one of the newest Pokemon from Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. They actually added new Pokemon in the sequel of the first game, which has actually never been done before, I think, so that's really cool. Anyways, I actually got the idea to draw a shiny POIPOLE from Baylee J. Now, she's been shiny hunting a POIPOLE, and with that you have to soft reset. And yeah, it took her a very long time, so I decided to actually draw a shiny POIPOLE in the hopes that it would give her luck in catching the shiny. Now, of course, the day after I finished drawing this, she got the shiny, so I'm going to take full credit for that, okay? That means that, you know, thanks to me, she got it. I'm just kidding, by the way. So yeah, I actually sketched this out, as you saw. I don't always sketch on camera, but this time I did because it's a pretty simple sketch. And yeah, I decided to ink it onto some mixed media card. And now I usually use this mixed media card when I want to use Copics and Watercolour in the same illustration, and as you can guess, that's what I did this time. Now I'm actually inking it using my Copic Multiliners, and I'm pretty sure I used 0.3 and a 0.2 in some parts. The parts where you can see it's a little bit thinner. Yeah, this artwork is pretty simple, but I actually had a lot of fun drawing this because I actually wanted to do a watercolor background, which I haven't done for some time. I actually did a similar technique in my Ultra Necrozma artworks a few months ago actually, and it makes sense because those are from the same game as this Pokemon. So it's kind of cool that I did a similar technique if you think about it. Now for this artwork I wanted to use my masking fluid because I haven't used that in a while as well. It was interesting going back to this because I've recently been using contact paper to do the similar thing. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I like to mix it up. Now I started off just adding a bit of a clear water over the artwork just so I could get some nice flowy wet on wet shapes on the background. And yeah, I'm using my Sennelier watercolors for this, and I absolutely love these paints. Now when I started off adding the colors, I used dioxazine purple. I don't know how to say that. Anyways, I did some little random splotches, and I also like flicked the paintbrush to get some really tiny splotches as well. And then I added a little bit of red to that as well, and sort of let the colors blend in together, which is a technique I really like doing. And then after that I also dabbed with some tissues just to get some little lighter and darker places as well. And yeah, it was just a process of adding more colors and, you know, doing more flicks of different colors, and yeah, just trying it out and seeing what I like. With watercolor you can't really control it too much in this way, so you kind of just have to let it do its own thing and see what happens. Now, once I had all of the background mostly how I wanted to do it, I took off the masking fluid, which was now dry, and yeah, I just went in with my Copic Markers as I usually like to do, and I started off with some warm greys for the white parts on this shiny POIPOLE. It's funny because its name sounds like purple and the Pokemon itself is purple, but the shiny version is like white and yellow, so calling it a POIPOLE is interesting, but you know, why not? So the colors that I mainly used for this artwork, as I said before, was warm grey, and then I used cadmium yellow for the yellow parts, and then I actually used a bit of buttercup yellow and other colors similar to that. I think I used honey as well for the shadows on the orange parts. And then for the eyes, they're kind of a lightish blue color. I used Cool Shadow and Frost Blue. And yeah, for the little spikes on top of its head, I used some cool grey colours. And yeah, it's pretty simple colouring, but I actually like it. Now there were some little smudges here and there from the watercolours on the white parts, and that's mainly because the layer of masking fluid I had wasn't exactly perfect, because it's been a while since I've used it, so I guess I'm out of practice a little bit. So I wasn't too worried because the colour is actually white. I actually went over with some of my white acrylic paint, which is a matte texture, so when you actually put it over paper, it being matte, it basically looks like the paper, so that was no problem at all. After this, I decided I wanted the shadows on the white parts to be a little bit more dynamic, and I wanted to add a little bit more texture as well, so I decided to go in with my pencils. And yeah, I decided to use browns to shade the white, mainly because it already had a lot of warm colours on it, and I didn't want to use too many cool colours like grey, and I already had that warm grey on there, so the brown pencils would really suit nicely. After that, I decided I wanted to put a lot of stars in the background, mainly because I wanted the background to kind of resemble Ultra Space, I guess. It's kind of my rendition of what Ultra Space would look like. So yeah, I just did lots of cool shiny stars in a sort of galaxy style, and yeah, I actually really like it. I have a lot of fun when I do artworks like this because the background is just so fun to do, I think. After this, I decided I wanted to add a little bit more in the background because it is Ultra Space and not a galaxy. So I decided to use some of my pencils in the background this time to add some like weird little clouds. Now I mainly used a sort of mid-tony purple and a darker bluey purple as well to do these clouds. And I mainly just did the shape of the cloud and blended it out a little bit. I didn't color in the whole way because I still wanted that watercolor texture to shine through, and I think I did a pretty good job for that. Now adding these clouds was a lot of fun, and I did on a whim a little bit, but to be honest I am really happy that I did it because it just gives this artwork a little bit more. It just gives it a little bit, I don't know, makes it a little bit different. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. And yeah, here's the final artwork in all of its glory, and I'm so happy with it, and yeah. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye everyone!